Hi, everybody. Welcome. Today, I have my favorite person in the whole wide world, my guest, my friend, my partner, my wife, Bongeka, here with me today. And we are going to make a massive habit of actually doing this together. That is the ministry, that is the focus, that is the message. So if you see me a little bit happier, it's because she's here, you know. So, yeah, we want to talk about a lot of things. And I think part of our intention concerning discipleship in the heart that we have concerning discipleship starts there. But today we're going to start easy. We want to talk about gratitude. I was on ecclesiacollective.com a few days ago, and we were checking through some of the blogs that are there, and I came across an article. I actually wrote the article a couple of months ago, but it was talking about gratitude and why gratitude is important. And I think for us, our journey, we've been married for about 10 years, almost 10 years. We've been together for close to 10 years. And I think gratitude is a big part of our journey. You know, sometimes it's hard not to be grateful. You know,
It's hard. No, wait, it's hard not to be grateful? Or it's hard to be
no, it's hard to
grateful?
be grateful. Yeah, it's hard to be grateful. I mean, when going through the stuff, you lose track of gratitude.
Yeah, because I mean, there's too many things happening, and sometimes, especially when we grow up, as we are older, there's so many other things that we have to take care of. There's a lot of things that we have to think about. You have to think about, oh my goodness, school fees, shoes. If you have children, you have to think about school fees. You have to think about shoes. You have to think about, oh, it's winter now. They need new shoes. Oh, now you have the responsibility of parents, and there's a lot to think about. And it's like there's a lot of problems all the time that are coming at us. So it's very hard to sit back in the hustle and bustle of each day to go and be grateful just for a little bit of something. So sometimes what I've noticed is like our place is quite spacious. It's quite spacious outside. So so some days I make it a point to actually go outside and just look around at what we have, because what we have we once prayed for.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I remember when we were at the church before, and we were praying towards land and stuff like that, and we went and we held soil, and I'll never forget that. We held soil, we prayed for the soil that one day we will own land. So like, I get out sometimes just to remind me that God is still faithful, because sometimes we can forget that,
And now you own it.
and now I have it. It's mine.
I just remembered a couple of weeks ago, we had a client, a problem client, who offered us 10 grand for a job, and we were like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not worth
the
it.
fee.
Let's let it go. And afterwards, we were having this discussion like, these are amounts we used to pray for. These are amounts we used to pray for. And right now, look, I'm not interested. It's money. I know they'll pay it, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested in this kind of work at that kind of price.
Yeah.
So it's a massive dynamic between when you just desire to have increase, and then when it comes, you want more. Because now there are figures now we look at and say, okay, we really need these kinds of figures.
Yeah.
And when small figures come in that we used to pray for, it's like, it's not enough.
little thing.
It's like God, And the things that God has already given us, like the property and everything, they make it seem like what you had before is little.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so now that I have land, I've got bills to pay, I've got employees to pay and stuff like that. So 10K is not enough for me to do anything with.
Yeah.
Now I need 50. Now I need 100.
Yeah.
And so my expectations shift as God blesses me, which makes me ungrateful.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, even when I do get the 10K I used to pray for, it's like, but it's not enough to pay my mortgage.
And
It's not enough to pay my employees.
Yeah.
I need this much money to run every month.
Yeah.
And it kind of kills the heart of gratitude. I think that's it's a very sad reality of life that in our growth we lose appreciation for stages we've walked by,
Yeah.
and places we've been, to say, oh, I used to take a taxi.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car. I didn't have a home. God has blessed me with those. And now that I have them, oh, but God, you're not giving me enough to keep what you gave me. And we build these walls that make it hard for us to just take a moment and say, wow,
Yeah.
you know. I think we've lost awe of God.
No, most definitely. I agree with that. And so there's a song we used to sing in primary school. Yeah, primary school, and I guess churches as well, like back in the day, where that song that goes, count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings. Okay, I'm not going to sing the whole song, but I know you know it. I know you know it if you're Christian. So that song, I think it goes back to your blog as well. You know, maybe for those who haven't read it, maybe you could expound or just give a few little tidbits on it. But that song kind of makes you be aware that sometimes, and I've noticed this as well with myself, because I'm quite, I want to call myself an anxious person. So for me, my mind blows things up a lot when things go wrong, that I don't see what's going right.
It was worse when we first got married. Before you go far, when we first got married, it was a mess. Oh my God. If there was just a small problem, she would like blow it up into this massive issue. Like, oh, we lost a contract. Oh my God, we're gonna die. We're
not going. God, my children gonna stop. No.
Oh my God.
I'm better. God has healed.
No, babe, so much
God
better.
has healed.
So much better, yeah.
Side
There's been
note,
growth, yeah.
As a Christian wife, you need the Holy Spirit, because I would not be here.
And an entrepreneur's wife, because we are so different.
We are so different.
I can't work for people. I just couldn't. I think I've only ever worked for one person my whole life. And
I'm used to working for people.
Yeah, so
I don't mind it. I can work.
So entrepreneurship has this valleys and dips where there's no income and there's no.
Sometimes, some moments are dry, some moments. But that actually taught me gratitude. Going back to just that that season of entrepreneurship, because I left my job voluntarily. It's not like I was fired or anything like that. And then, my husband was like, we're going to see what we're going to do. God will work it out. And I had a lot of moments of, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? In between those moments. And I think God was just waiting for the moment for me to say, it's okay. Like, God has come through before, and he will continue to do so. And that's what we forget. Sometimes we need to look back and see what it is that God has done for us, so that when you look back, or actually when you are in a tight situation, you know that God has pulled me out of either worse than this. I mean, there was a time we didn't pay rent for 3 months in Centurion. We had the best landlord who was like, oh, it's okay, take your time. We were like, what?
She bought us
No, that was another time.
Okay.
God, you see,
we've been through
many situations.
We've been through tough
many
places.
situations that we can count, but God has always been faithful. And I think in gratitude, the attitude is to know that God is faithful. He will continue to be. These days I tell myself, even when we are on our last egg, like today, like this is the last egg today. I don't have a plan, but to be comforted in knowing that, what? We will not starve. Even if we do eat that one egg, there's a field full of veggies. So you will never starve. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I think I like what you said, because most of the time our confidence is in contracts, because there's always contracts. Yes. We know we have income streams. So if it's not today, tomorrow, one of these income streams will bring money. It's never really a concern now concerning where is money gonna come from. But I think it's easy to look at the income streams and say, okay, this is where my money is coming. But a bigger thing, which is what you said now, is to trust God. Trust God means trust the character of God. Yeah. It means I don't depend on the income stream. Yes. I depend on the God who uses this income stream to send something through. is to know that if he did it before,
He's still gonna do
he's
it.
gonna do it again.
He's gonna be faithful.
He did it 10 years ago, he did it 5 years ago, he did it again 6 months ago. And even if it comes back tomorrow, that same God will do what he has always done.
Yeah.
Not once has he let us down.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the, and I think it's a sad thing because for a lot of Christians, that we have like amnesia. I don't know what those movies, The Bold and the Beautiful, we have amnesia. We don't remember because even though God has done it and has protected us, has kept us, we forget next time.
No, I mean, I think it's just natural. It's a human thing. I can't explain it. Like anytime, it's like, sometimes counselors will say, not therapists in general, not counselors. Therapists will be like, okay, say something, 5 things you like about yourself. You can't even get to number 5 because, and then if someone says, okay, tell me 10 things you hate about yourself, you will count up to 20, even some that we do not ask for. So the human mind is made up in a very weird way that sees rather all the bad things first before it sees the good thing. And it now becomes your, what's the word? Give me the word. It becomes your
go-to thing.
It becomes your responsibility. Yes.
Okay.
It becomes your responsibility to get yourself to a place of gratitude or focusing on positive things. The world, the secular world teaches these things. Obviously, they name it different things and manifesting and all that stuff. But even the Bible says that we should renew our mind. You must be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So when we transform our minds, we need to focus more on the good that has happened to us, the good things that God has done. Even if you do see a horrible situation, ask yourself, okay, but what good thing is here right now? And I think that can kind of just shift the way that you think at any time. It takes a long time, to be honest with you, to train yourself up to that. Like I'm saying, I have always been an anxious person. So I'm speaking from experience when I say this, because I've had to train my mind time and time again and say, Lord, help me, Lord, help me. And sometimes you're just going to have to call on the Lord to help you, because by yourself, it's not going to happen.
I think it's interesting. It's interesting how you view that because then it brings up a dimension of sanctification, which is critical for self-training. Because a lot of the time, sanctification is change, transformation, but not a lot of people are willing to put in the work.
Oh, yes.
To say, I am working through a rigorous process of being trained in order for me to produce transformation. Because like you're saying, when we met, you had a job, you were working at this place. I had been in the entrepreneurial space for a long time. So I knew, okay, every 3 months or so, it can go quiet for a month or 2.
Dry.
And, bills are due and I'm sitting here wondering how am I going to pay my worker, because they were there with me through the month. They know no contract came in, but as far as they're concerned,
money must come.
Money must be paid. It's month end.
Yeah.
And that started off with a lot of anxiety for everybody. But a lot of the
I
times,
don't feel like you don't get anxious. Like sometimes I look at you, I'm like, are we in the same situation or am I just tripping?
I've been there. I've been there. I have never ever had to worry about money to that level. And I think that's not to say I'm not anxious, because generally I think most men struggle with that. I'm not anxious about today. I'm never really anxious about tomorrow or this month or a bill that is due and stuff like that. In fact, worst case scenario, one of the worst things I was taught by entrepreneurship was I've had lawsuits, my whole life. I've just had, another attorney. This one wants money. This one is taking me to court. I've had lawsuits. It's part of the journey. You're going to have that. I've had bills due, where you get second, third letter. I've had all of that. The anxiety for me isn't on, am I going to pay bills? It's on change. When I look back and I say, okay, fine. Over the past years, we've acquired properties. We've done this, we've done that. So in the past 5 years, I've grown. But whenever I feel like I've stalled, like there's no progress, that kind of makes me anxious. And usually when I'm pursuing God and I'm praying, it's always like, Lord, I've kind of been on this mountain for too long.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of getting worried.
Okay.
So for the anxiety is not about the moment, it's about the state of things. It's about, okay, so is our family making progress? Are our assets increasing? So it's a very different kind of
stress.
yes.
I stress for now.
I can't
stress for
afford to
right
straight
now.
now. I've been through so much worse. I remember I was so young. I was 18, 19. I had a lot of accidents that time. I drove bad and I was just texting all the time. I don't know what happened. I hit this person's car. And it was a corporate car for this person's workplace and stuff like that. I don't know if I had insurance or not, but I started getting letters. These people found me. They chased me. They harassed me. I think this is also before policy changed in South Africa concerning popia and whatnot.
Yeah.
They were on me all the time, and I just had no idea, because what they said is, okay, so insurance is paying this much, but because it's your fault, you have to pay this much. And I'm thinking, where am I supposed to find this money? And this is like a huge car, right? This is a big car. It's an expensive car, and I have to put out the
It's
rest.
like hitting a Porsche.
Yes, it's like
With
I
the
have to
little
find
hundred.
this little, money. I think that is probably one of the most stressful and one of the first ever lawsuits I ever had. So and I have attorneys calling me 24/7 and every day, and they want their money. And whenever I meet somebody and they're in court or they got a letter from an attorney, my attitude towards this, okay.
What else you got?
Like, even if someone sends me an attorney, a letter from a lawyer, I'm like, okay, cool. Look,
Still got time.
but you have no idea what kind of anxiety that thing took my sleep. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
For months. I couldn't sleep because they were relentless. They wanted this money, and I didn't know how I would ever pay it off. And so I think that by James says what? Oh, I'm gonna forget the scripture. By means of use. We learn patience by doing, and that produces patience. And I think that one of the things about gratitude as well. No. James talks about patience, and he explains patience in the dynamic in which as you go through these things, they train you into patience. You learn to wait out certain things. I think not having stuff teaches me patience. It teaches me to wait it out. I don't stress about it the same way I used to. Yes, I don't stress about a bill that's due because I have developed a patience for it. Then it was urgent. This money has to be found now. This issue has to be sorted out right now. And I know one thing I didn't like about my dad. Dad has this incredibly horrible relaxation around him. I don't know where.
Is so chill. Like, what are you rushing him for?
This man has no pressure whatsoever. And whenever I came to him in a rush, like, I need this sorted out, he would say, anything that is rushed is going to be messy.
Okay.
I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I need this thing sorted out right now. And he has zero rush. He has no rush. Oh my God. Even today, my dad has the craziest patience I've ever seen. But patience is a product of that. I think when you are going through trials, when you are being tested, when you are going through all of these things, one of the most important muscles that needs to be stretched is your patience muscle. So...
but patience goes with not liking things.
What do you mean?
Because I think in the world of social media, in the world of Instagram and picture perfect this and picture perfect that. I mean, maybe you can't say that about your platforms like TikTok, because people go there and they are showing their entire life, their dirty house and what and nobody cares. Yeah. If you go to Instagram, it's a whole other different story. So with the introduction of social media, I feel like people have more pressure to have things, to be somewhere. I remember there was a trend going on. Someone did a video where they were like, guys, I'm tired. I'm this years old. I'm 30 something years old. I haven't done this. I haven't done this, and I haven't done this. But when you look at business people, Oprahs and stuff, I mean, we all know these stories. They are out there, where people say, oh, they only started making it when they were 45 or 50. So sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves because we have a young guy who's 21 years old saying he made his first million when he was 18 and he bought a private jet and stuff like that. But that's just social media pressure, you know, and nobody's really living like that. And we all know that content is curated. People actually, you go rent this and you go do that and do that. Not everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
There are people who are actually living that life. But most people are just really, you know, it's
Pretending.
fake it till
They're
you
lying.
make it.
They're lying.
Yeah.
But
So,
that couple.
yes. Yo, guys, there was this couple on TikTok. I'm sure if you're on social media for long enough, you will know it. This couple went and rented this huge mansion. Like, that was huge, like stairs going down, and this lady's going down the stairs with like her kimono or her gown, that, you know, that long wavy one. And, you know, they said they bought this house. Months, a year later or something, a year or two later, then they tell the truth and they're like, oh yeah, no, we were just renting this house the whole time. We actually just bought it.
They now can afford it by
they
pretending.
Exactly. So that's what a lot of people do. And I think if you know that social media is putting too much pressure on you, rather stay away, because it's not doing you any favors. You're going to start counting all the things you don't have and miss all the blessings that you have.
The article we wrote about gratitude actually defines gratitude, because a lot of people cannot distinguish between being thankful and being grateful. Being thankful, Paul says, in all things give thanks, right? So the attitude of thanksgiving is in essence an attitude in which you maintain positivity, you maintain hope, you maintain joy concerning life, even in bad circumstances. But gratitude is actually different, and I like what you said now. The sages, the Hebrews taught something, the men of old. They taught that if you understand gratitude, in life we count constantly things we don't have.
Yes.
So I don't have a
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. I don't have an Aston Martin. I don't have
a double-story
this.
house.
I don't have all of those things. So there's a million things, an infinite number of things I don't have.
Yes.
And naturally, the instinct of the person is to count and continue to keep count of everything you don't have. Because as soon as I walk down the road, I'm going to meet people that have stuff I don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have a white woman. You understand? we were watching this funny thing about a satirical show about a person who just thinks white women are amazing and black women are not. Yeah. And so it's easy for me to say, oh, that race is amazing. This guy is an Asian woman. Oh, my word. I'm just stuck with this black woman.
This black chick
you know,
putting
and
on her head.
yeah, it's easy for me to say, oh, but, you know, someone else stays in an estate, and I stay at a farm.
Yeah.
Someone else stays at a 5 million, 30 million, and
Grand
they're there.
house. Yeah.
You know, these houses are there, and we see them constantly on social media. And because we see them, I then begin to mark everything I don't have.
Yes.
And social media does that. It gives you this impression that everybody else is making so much progress. I mean, LinkedIn is so much pressure.
It is. You see those titles like show director of what? Yo, chief what? Ooh.
You know,
and you're like,
it doesn't matter. It just looks like everybody, and I mean, the minute you log in, it's congratulations to this one. They've just achieved that.
Senior manager.
You understand? Congratulations. This has happened for this one. Congratulations, this person.
Yes.
And it's easy to say, but I haven't done anything notable worth being congratulated. That then creates that mindset of counting everything you don't have.
Yes.
So you begin to count everything out there. Now, the idea and the concept behind gratitude, and even as taught in the Bible, is this: count what you have. Take a moment and actually, like the song you mentioned, begin to make mention
One.
of things that you have. Keep stock of what you have. And when you actually begin to pay attention to the stuff you have, you will find a joy, a pleasant surprise. Like, wait a minute, I actually have stuff.
Yeah.
I have an incredible wife, right? She's not
Yes, you do.
Asian. She is not Asian. But I have an incredible wife. I have incredible kids. I have an incredible home. I have a reliable, strong, good car.
Yes.
I have a network of relationships. You then begin to discover stuff that you already had, but you had not taken stock of. And in the article that we gave an example of discovering money in your pants. You know how nice it is? Like when you going through, like I had money.
50 rand.
I had
Even if it was
money.
50
You know, it's small, but it's like you discover a joy. It was yours.
Yeah.
I mean, they're your pants. It's your
Yeah.
money. You left it there. But
you didn't know.
You didn't know. And you realize that a lot of what we have, we don't know.
Absolutely. But that goes to, like you're saying, it's you weren't looking for it, you know. Sometimes you really got to sit down and take stock. You really got to take stock. But I think also at the heart of ingratitude is not knowing self.
Okay.
And when I say that, I mean, you need to know for yourself, what are your goals? What are your dreams? Not the Joneses next door. What are your dreams? What are your goals? If you say, I have achieved this, it's enough. If there was no one else on earth who was going to get more than you, or not even more than you, let's not even make it a competition thing, because, you know, let's make it about you. If I achieve this, and then you have sort of like an enough spot.
What's enough for you?
What's enough for me? So if I know what's enough for me, I think gratitude can become
Easier.
because you are going on your own goals.
I think that's probably one of the most difficult parts of our marriage, has been figuring out what we need independent of other people.
Yeah.
Because there was a time we wanted really badly to be in an estate, to be in a farm.
the
Sorry,
dream.
we were in an estate.
Yeah.
In fact, we've been in estates most of our the earlier parts of our marriage, with when the kids were born and stuff like that, and we didn't enjoy that. We genuinely did not enjoy that. And the issue was, okay, we want to have a farm, right? And we have that, and there's a natural tendency to want to go back to an estate.
Yes.
You know,
I don't think it's mostly that. I think it's mostly accessibility.
Yeah, well,
Because where we are, if you don't have a car, you kinda.
Yeah, but look, babe, the blessings, every blessing comes with a dimension of responsibility, and
Absolutely,
I think this is where the gravitas or the weight of a blessing comes, because the responsibilities of the blessing seem weighty, they're heavy, because we have a massive property. It needs security.
It does.
We've never had to worry
Maintenance.
about security in a complex. Maintenance. There's just so many contractors in and out of the place. It's overwhelming. It is overwhelming, and it's expensive to run and manage a property, a bigger property. And these are not problems you have when you're renting.
Yeah.
These are not problems you have when you're in a complex. These are not problems you have.
To worry about that.
Yes, and so suddenly this dimension of what's a blessing opens up responsibilities and weight. And most of the time, maybe to a certain extent, this is the problem of Esau. In that Esau wanted the blessing, didn't want the responsibility. I do want a double portion. I want to be the firstborn.
Yes.
But everything else that comes with it, the job and the work, you know, listen, if you can hand it over. And I think maybe that's why gratitude becomes an issue. You can't be grateful when everything you pay attention to is sometimes a weight of the blessing you prayed for.
Yeah.
You know, being married is a job.
It's our job.
Everybody wants to get married.
Everybody wants
the white wedding is amazing.
Everybody wants the wedding.
But you gotta get home and be a wife.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta get home and be a husband. Everybody wants a baby. It's cool to take amazing pictures and videos.
Cute. They're really cute.
But the
Until they
diaper
start
changing, staying up at night, and stuff. That stuff people don't want. So instead of then taking a moment and saying, but Lord, I'm so grateful. You know, there are people who have been trying.
For sure.
People who have paid millions
Money.
to try get a child in their hands. People who are praying for the blessing of saying, who do I leave all of this to?
Yeah.
You know, and I want to love my own. Adopting is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's you want to love your own child.
Yeah.
This is my child, you know, and that's a difficult. These are difficult journeys other people are navigating, but because you see them on Instagram, it looks like no, but that person's life is so much better than mine.
Yes.
You know, so I think the enemy of that then becomes just comparison.
No.
We are stuck under the weight of comparison. Just
Comparison's a problem.
looking at people and saying, "Oh, this
That's
one,
the one. That's
this
the
one
one
has,
I want.
you know, this one has it better. This one has a more handsome husband. This one has a richer husband. This one has a better car. Their car is, you know, 2025.
Flashy, yeah.
You know, this one has, you know, better. His wife understands him better. It's crazy, isn't it? And somehow, from your viewpoint, you can look at this lens and think, so nice. I'm sitting in trash.
But you know
This-
what? You know what? With what you're saying, that the comparison thing. Sometimes you look at somebody's thing as it's like it's so amazing, or they have they've got riches, they've got millions, and wada. They didn't get a snake. Not everybody gets a snake to get rich.
Yeah.
People work hard.
Yes. Yeah.
It is hard work to run a business. It's not for everyone. Waking up at times you don't want to. Working on days you don't want to. Dealing with screaming people in your
Yes.
ear telling you,
Clients.
hey, what. It's a lot of work. And people put in that work. And sometimes people will look at you and be like, oh, that person's life is so nice. They're driving a Lamborghini, whatever. Oh, their wife is so nice. Oh, their marriage is so perfect. There was probably 10 years when that marriage was in trouble.
Yeah.
And you saw them on year 12.
Yes.
And they've worked through it all. They have cried. They've shouted at each other. They've been
Pushed.
to therapy 100
Yes.
times. Just to get to that moment that you see as, wow, you know, they're on this pedestal. It is hard work, and everybody has to work hard. At the end of the day, nothing comes easy in any case.
And also because I think maybe the problem is the Christian way of thinking likes easy. Somebody taught
Pray,
Christians, somebody taught Christians that the formula for success in marriage is prayer. Your marriage ain't working. Pray for me, sister. Pray for her.
And there's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with prayer.
granted,
You have to,
granted.
like God is our Father. We have to bring everything to Him. Whatever
To Him.
worries you, whatever it's
But
wrong,
what about
bring
everything
to
else?
Him.
Everything else is still necessary.
Yes, you still have to
Work.
You still have to be intentional.
Yes.
You still have to go on the date night.
Yes.
You still have to have the hard conversation. You still, it's not like the prayer will come and be like, no, this is not fairy dust. This is
No,
not.
I think Abracadabra has found its way into church culture in a very toxic way. And I think that's ultimately the heart of it all.
Yeah.
Because we think they look happy, then they have not gone through stuff.
Yeah.
That, oh no, the reason why they are happily married is because she married an easy guy. That guy is, you know, he's cool. And because also we see the brand. We never see the process.
Yes.
We see the polished
And nobody
product.
shows you
Nobody shows you
the behind the scenes.
Yeah, nobody shows you how many conversations happened to get a marriage to be good.
Yes.
It's so many conversations.
It's a lot.
You know, and then the development of these people into a working engine is brutal. You're talking about business. We know what that's like. We know what that's like to spend the day dealing with just tech. You know, just today I'm dealing with setting up our email system and we are talking to clients. We need to build our database. Are we talking to this client? This client is unhappy. Why are they unhappy? What should we change? What's our SOPs? You know, okay, fine. This is how much capital we need. We need that piece of equipment. That supplier is a problem. We have to drive out to meet this supplier and the business is not worthwhile. Maybe we're losing money here. It's revelations built upon time.
Struggle.
You know, we were still talking about that yesterday, that even as we see what makes each thing in our business an asset, it didn't wake up as an asset. It's time. the website alone takes thousands of hours of development and coding and improvement. Like, that's not working. Let's change that. And then it takes us 2 months to change it, and it takes money to change it. And then now we have to buy something for the website, and it's added and stuff. By the time you are done, you understand every small piece of this engine.
The thing,
If you handed over our business right now to anybody, like, here, just take it.
Just take it.
They
It'll
would
fall.
They
It'll
would
crumble.
drop it.
Yeah.
Because they were never
They have
part
not
of
learned.
that.
They were not trained.
Yes.
The training.
So gratitude is training, if you think about it. It's a lot of real training that we have to do, not just to change the circumstance, because our culture wants us to change circumstances. We want more money, but we don't want to change ourselves. I need to change for this marriage to work. I need to change for my business to work. And I think one of the top videos we had on TikTok was Prayer Changes Us. I did that whole video on Prayer Changes Us and how God needs you to be a billionaire before you make a billion.
Before you make it,
And sometimes
you need to
that
have billionaire attitude.
Yes.
Billionaire habits.
Yes, because if
billionaire
someone just
behavior.
drops it here on this table, woo,
I blew it.
you blow it.
You end up on I blew it.
You absolutely will. Someone won 140 mil this past 2 weeks.
Serious?
Yeah, someone won 140 mil, and
I'm sure it's in 6 months they'll be back.
exactly, because they are not a millionaire, and no matter what happens, we always come back to our default settings.
Yes.
We're stuck there, and I think that's why it's hard for us to be grateful, because we have not been building intentionally. If I built it, I can take a moment and say, wow, Lord, you did all of this. You were there when we bought our first domain.
Yes.
Remember when we bought our domain? And you were there when we put that little bit of capital. It was painful.
Yes,
Remember that
it
little
was
bit of money we put aside?
It was
We're
my
like,
bonus.
And we're like, okay, let's do it. And we had no idea what we were doing. So we bought our first material and we sat for days during the
And it looked
festives.
ugly.
It was so
Oh,
ugly.
it
The
was
first stuff
nasty.
we made was so ugly. And
I wish we kept it. Wait, do we still have some of those things?
I'm sure we do.
Well,
We haven't
we
thrown
should do
anything
it
away. I don't think
before, after.
But that was time. It was process, and we had problems, and we kept calling. I kept calling that old man, like, listen, help me. He's like, no. Then avoid that. Avoid this. Avoid that. And over the years now, we've built this incredible thing. And amazing. We've put in effort and work.
Yes.
But coming back to God and say, Lord, we couldn't have done this without you. You know, we're so grateful you gave us this.
For the opportunities, just favor.
Yes.
You know, like out of many websites that somebody could have gone to,
They come to our business.
ours.
They find us. They connect with us. Our kids. The kids. We must just thank God that we managed to keep them alive.
Yes.
That
Our
we've
oldest one is
succeeded.
8.
Imagine
We kept someone alive
how
for
many
8
times have we
years.
found them eating things like,
Like, what are you
what
doing?
are you doing? You know, our
They
youngest-
jump off
Yes.
of stuff. Oh my Lord.
It's like they're testing you. But all in all, it's just God. God keeping us, God protecting us, God, all of this is just God working. And that allows us to say years later, we've built an amazing family.
Yes.
We've built an amazing life. We've built an amazing business. We've built amazing relationships. People that were around us, crappy friends. Right? You get really bad friends along the journey, but you get really good ones, committed ones, loving ones. People that are with you, your tribe. They ride with you. They rock with you. And it's easy, once again, to obsess over, that person was such a bad person. Partners. Many of you have been there. You've kissed all your 20 frogs. Until you get to this one and you're like, okay, cool. I'm in a great marriage. I'm in a great relationship. And it still takes intentionality. But I think that in all that, acknowledging God as source as well becomes the most important thing. I think if we were ever misled to thinking that, we did this. We had a strategy. We had a plan. We had all of this. I don't know what clients who ordered on our website were buying, because that stuff was so horrible.
The
stuff was so
I wish I
bad.
could just recall and be like, guys, wait, we better now.
Yes, so many times you
Come
feel
back.
that way. I actually spoke to that client at the time and I said, listen.
She's like, we them. They're beautiful.
But
We're
we
like,
feel
yeah,
ashamed.
improved.
We feel ashamed because we've grown.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the process of this, we just forget, for whatever reason, someone came to our website, took a look at our product and thought to themselves, let me buy that.
Yeah.
And the worst part is they have absolute joy.
Someone even saved.
Yeah.
Like they got a hold of us.
Yeah.
Beginning of the month to say, month end. Remember me, I'm coming.
I'm coming.
You know, and they did.
And we see that, but again, it's easy to say, yo, we had an amazing strategy, like we saved, we're smart, we're business people. Again, coming from an entrepreneurial background, it's easy to flex and like, man.
It's my 10 years, 20 years.
I've put in time. But then you realize that God always gives growth.
Yes.
God gives growth.
Yeah.
We plant, we water. God gives growth. You may have planted something, I may have planted it, you may have watered it, I have watered it. But in spite of our absolute diligence, the character of God is what we look at for anything we have. But more so that it is because He is consistent.
Yes.
He remains Jireh, right? There's no mindset around,
I really
it's what we did,
that deal I
got a
pulled
good
off.
wife, man. I got a good wife. They made better. I hear people complaining, like passport bros want to go places because the idea is that, a certain nationality is better. A certain culture is better. A certain person is better. A woman with a degree is better than a woman without a degree. You get my point? Cape Town is better than Johannesburg, And there's this mindset. A lot of people, even young people, are stuck with this. They think, my dreams will come true if I'm in New York.
Yes.
And
to New York will...
You get my point. So the idea is that there are certain countries that are better than what I have. There are certain people that are better than me. There's certain talents that are better than others. I struggled with that. I'm not a soft guy. I'm a very militant leader. Let's go. Yeah. Guys, let's go. And if you're tired, cool, I'll give you 2 minutes. Yeah. But we gotta go, And I'm not a bulldozer.
You're a bulldozer. You're a...
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to change from that kind of viewpoint. And I still hate the fact that somebody out there came up with terms melancholic, choleric. I hate that very idea of that. It's
No, the names are not nice, definitely.
Yeah.
But I guess it's years of research, and for me...
Yeah, but why name it that though?
I don't know. Maybe for me, because that's the characteristic of the thing.
Yeah,
of the stuff. I
get that. But choleric means it's like nasty. Just the meaning of the word. It's a term made during a plague where people had outbreaks or like it's like disturbing. So when you are a driven
Labeled,
leader,
that's what you get labeled,
it's like he's choleric. I sat down. I'm like, no, man, this can't be a good description. But my point is,
that's what the thing is about those though is that there's a good and a bad thing. There's like pros and cons to all of them. It's not like all bad and it's not all good. But anyway, let's not get into psychology.
Granted, my point is, the idea is, soft-spoken, quiet leaders are better. That there's something inherently wrong with your character, with your other. Just doesn't matter. My point is, the idea we consistently operate off of is there's something inherently wrong with my house. There's something inherently wrong with my marriage. There's something inherently wrong with my church.
With my career.
There's something wrong with my career that I should have chosen that career because they make more money than this one. These people are happier than these ones. They make a lot more for a lot less time. That owning a business is better than being employed.
Unless an employment has nice, relaxing benefits.
Granted, but then if you operate from the place that what I have is broken, you can never be grateful
for anything.
You can never really just say, God, I'm grateful for what I have, because somehow we don't trust the not only the process of decisions that led me to this moment, but I also don't trust the orchestrations of God up until this moment. You and I meeting was a well orchestrated plan that neither you or I were part of. It's decisions that you didn't make that brought you into my life. And so God orchestrates. He builds this timeline, connects people, places, and things so that certain outcomes are achieved. And my life is more a result of his planning, where your mom would have said, don't go to Johannesburg, stay here. There's a job opportunity that you need to take. Focus on that. And you're like, nah, let me go. I've got it's a terrible job working in a mail room. Okay, cool. I'm overqualified for it, but I'm going to go anyway. Yeah. So little Miss Honors took her honors to the mailing room, right? To a mailing room. And because of that small decision, got the job she wanted and met this guy, right? Wow.
Yes, I did.
So the idea then is we kind of have to, I think also ingratitude then says to God, you didn't do it well.
Yeah.
My
way could have been better.
Yeah.
Like I could have done a better thing.
Yeah.
Than
you didn't do it properly. You are a terrible planner. Lord, like you should have just let me handle this thing because everything I have is that.
Yeah.
We didn't just buy this property. There were calls and people that had to meet. That came together because of that. We didn't just make these children. I love when you watch.
Did that.
No. I meant. I love the idea behind like most of the sci-fi movies where there's time travel involved and stuff. If a baby was made on a certain night, it's very likely if we had made a baby on a different night, we would have made an entirely different child. So the people I have right now are the result of precision in moments where certain moments produced exact results. So everything I have now is not my control. It's literally God, because you could have said I had a headache. If you said I have a headache, then nothing would happen. You know what I'm saying? So God made sure you didn't have a headache that day. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I thank the Lord.
That I didn't have a headache.
That you didn't have a headache.
Okay,
because the children I have now,
would not be these ones. Yeah.
Yes. So we can easily then build a frame that makes us think, but it's not like that. It's genuinely everything I have is outcomes that God created. Gratitude makes us mindful not only of God's character, but that everything I have was given to me by God. I'm grateful for it. Yeah. I count it. My home, my family, my children, my businesses, my wealth, my peace, everything I have today, health. Because you could be dead though. Ooh. Like it could be worse though, right? Some people have issues, that's fine, but it could be worse. And yes, there are people who have health who are playing a fool with it. Yeah. But whatever you do have, count that which remains.
Okay. So, if we were to put this as a list, for gratitude, you need this recipe. Am I putting you on the spot?
Okay. I would say we've already discussed the blueprint of this, right? Yeah. So I'm going to label what we've discussed.
What we've already discussed, yeah.
Number one, gratitude is math. It's addition. Yeah. Like just put it together, right?
That's one.
So be able to articulately count. Yeah. Pay attention to what's there. Number one.
Ooh, pay attention.
Number one, because it's discovery. Yeah. Right. It's the same as the money in your pants when you're folding. You're like, oh, I didn't notice this. Yeah. Because it's easy to not see it when it's there. So I guess beyond even counting, it's discovery first. Discover. Make it a treasure hunt of things in your house. Yeah. A personal treasure hunt of sort. So that's where I would start. Number one, do a treasure hunt. Number two, count. Number three, sanctification. Work this. I think your mind becomes a big enemy concerning gratitude. You know, number 4, stop comparisons. Like leave it.
Yeah.
Build this idea of what your life needs to be for yourself. Right? Like, who am I? How do I fit into the narrative of what God is doing for me? In fact, the question shouldn't even be, what do I like? Because we all like these new things. I saw that BYD truck and I was like, woo, Jesus.
Nice.
Jesus. Jesus. All right. But at the end of the day, what kind of life does God want for me? And so when you see me, what kind of car do I drive? And I think that's a very complicated question to ask God.
Wait, you think God can...
I think if God cares about the minuscule parts of my life, he cares about that. I think if God knows the breadth of my life, he cares about that. And so if all of those things are there, and we've spoken about this as the prophetic advantage, every aspect of my life needs God.
Yeah.
And it needs conversation with God. So I think God should tell us those things. And I think he's concerned with that. I spoke to a young guy who called me. And when he called me over the phone, the first thing I said to him was, they were newlyweds. And the first thing I said to him was, before you say whatever you want to say, God is telling me, have your kids now. Start right now. And then he's like, oh, bro, we were just discussing this with my wife and we were trying to make a decision concerning, should we wait a year or should we get started immediately? And I was actually calling you to ask, and I was like, do it right now, don't wait. And it was just a weird thing because at the end of the day, like, why do you need a word about making babies?
Yeah.
But at the same time, God he cares about that. So I think those are some of the smaller tenets of gratitude. But I think if you can learn to keep stock, if you can learn to write down and pay attention, number, add, count, and then most importantly, just begin to work on your mind. Begin to learn to trust in the nature of God. Trust in the sovereignty of God, that God cares and he is on top of my life.
For every little thing.
Yes, he's on top of my life. There's no part of my life that God is not concerned with. We can then build a meaningful place to start from with gratitude. I think, look, there's a lot more we could add, I suppose. But
I think those were good. I think if you can watch this twice, 3 times, then you just start counting. Start counting.
Discover.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Just start counting.
Discover. Sit down, make it a plan, just count. And discovering these things is such a beautiful thing. I think it will give you renewed joy in life. Maybe that's why people are sad.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Nobody sees the good in their life.
Because you're in a shack, but you're not in the street.
Yeah.
You know, you are in a car, you're not on the street.
Yeah.
You may not have a place to stay tonight.
You're in a car from 1996, but you have a car.
You have one. And it's not the best one. It's not fancy.
Listen, you may be walking, but you're not on a wheelchair.
Yes. There's so much.
Yeah.
And if you did pay attention to that, like the sages taught, that the things you don't have are infinite. There are a million, billion, zillion, trillion things you don't have. But you know what? There is so much more that you have that you haven't paid attention to. You have a great mind.
Yes.
Some people wish they had the mind you have. You have great conversational skills. Some people wish they had that. You have a great ear to listen to others.
Yeah.
Some people wish they had that. And that's, again, discovery. When you sit down, you're like, wait, oh yeah, I do have that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe as a good exercise, I hope you have good friends.
Yeah. Yes.
I hope you have good friends
That's
and
very
good
important.
people. But ask people, what
good traits
do I have?
you like about me?
Not even just traits,
Yeah.
because traits makes it personality. I
Okay.
think, what good things
Yeah.
do I have that you see and pay attention to, that you note?
Okay.
You know, so and I think that's a great exercise as well
would be nice.
to do. Yeah. So tell me things. Someone will tell you, listen, I really like how you dress.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. Add it.
You got style.
You know, you got style. You know how to put clothes together. Some people have expensive clothes.
Yeah.
They got Gucci, but they don't know how to
still
put
don't know
it
how to put it in a nice
together.
way to make it.
Yeah,
cool.
and you've got a $20 item, cheap
Yeah.
clothing,
From
but
Arabs.
you put it
You
together.
know how to put it together.
You know, and that's again great things. And you know what's funny? Out of that will come out businesses.
Yes.
You know, some of you are sitting on businesses because you're just not grateful.
Because you are looking for to be a senior manager, chief director, whatever, and that's not for all of us.
Yes.
Some people are just artists. That's your gift.
And maybe you need to be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
But because you've never paid attention to the greatness you sit on to do it, it never comes out.
Yeah.
Some people are good speakers, and speakers preach, man, preach, hold seminars, and millions will come attend and listen to you, and that's what you have.
Yes.
And that's a product of gratitude, taking stock. And Jesus says this to the churches. He says, keep that which remains. Don't try to focus on expanding. Some people are trying to expand. You should look after what you have. Some people trying to grow. Look after what you have. Be satisfied with this, because sometimes this is enough. You know.
It's as good as it's gonna get.
Bless you guys. Hope you enjoyed our time together with me and my wife. We're gonna be doing a lot of these together, sharing the word, and even our teachings. We're gonna structure them this way. Sometimes she's gonna be out here alone. Woo-hoo.
What?
Yeah, she's gonna be teaching alone, and I think it's a beautiful thing as well to bring it into conversation, that we get to talk through some of these things. I know most of the time I'm here alone for like 2 hours, pulling a stretch in a conversation, but I think it's such a meaningful thing when we get to dissect these things, so we can talk about them, you know.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and it doesn't hurt that, eye candy, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Right? God bless you guys.
God bless you. And